Okay, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Um, Today is our first day on web development. Okay, we talked about like web design, right? In web design, we talked about the Photoshop and all. Now we need to work on a web development. Web, but you are not done with the design. There are many softwares you need to learn. Okay, like Illustrator and all. But Photoshop, at least you will master that. So at your own space, every day you work half an hour maybe, okay, or even in a week's time you give some 2 hour time to it. In a week's time give 2 3 hours time. That's enough, more than enough to the Photoshop. And in the meantime, the 6 months time you will be well acquainted with Photoshop, all the tools and all. And Photoshop is something which will require whole life. Sometimes you do Aadhaar card. Say for we have today actions. We have what? We build the actions. In actions, all the steps are recorded, so we don't have to do anything. मतलब आज मैंने आधार कार्ड बनाया, जैसे मैंने डाउनलोड करना पहले उस साइट से, फिर उसकी साइज करनी है, फिर उसका कलरिंग अच्छा बनाना है, फिर उसका टेक्स्ट बोल्ड बनाना है, साइज करना है, प्रॉपर उस फॉर्मेट में रखना है जो कार्ड करेंगे, वो सारा हम रिकॉर्ड कर देंगे. दैट्स कॉल्ड एक्शन. दैट्स कॉल्ड व्हाट. Next time you have another this Aadhaar card, you want to print it, you don't have to do anything. You have to only press one button. But to press that action, the whole steps will be automatically applied to the new card, and bingo, you'll be done, right? So Photoshop will be you will require Photoshop all your life, right? So all the time you take photos, you want to do something to that, and every time you need that. So learn Photoshop, and don't forget that we have videos. You can see that, okay, right? Videos, see that in at least my class. Even though you are absent, you are not absent, right? But come regular, solve assignments all the time, work with me. Now in the development phase, we have to be like a full stack developers, and you have to take it as a career path also. Even though you choose something else, still web development as your skill in a bucket will help you out. Okay, even though you don't get a job quickly, you can have your own, you working in a freelancing, study development, but you need to work as a full stack, and you need to learn whole technologies, starting from the HTML, where we do the front end development. We have discussed these things already, right? And there is the back end development. So basically what I do is we start from the HTML. We start from the HTML, right? We learn HTML. It's not a big deal. We can do it in a couple of weeks time or a week's time. We are done with it. And when we say HTML, this is hypertext. It's not a programming language, basically. The programming language starts, we go for CSS and JavaScript. JavaScript is a programming language where we have all the constructs of a programming language, okay? But in CSS, okay, and HTML, we are not having some kind of programming. It's some kind of a visual stuff. It's something which we develop, something which can be seen, okay? And the HTML builds like it's like a college. You want to build a college. It's like building the buildings, the rooms, etc. Okay, and CSS is like aesthetics. Yes, sir. Now, then what is HTML and CSS? In HTML, what we do is it's like, I'm with the analogy, we are building the building, the basic structure of a website. I put the rooms, and we put all the buttons and all that. Then we use the CSS. CSS is the painter guys. Now the paint shop guys comes in, they color it up, they make it glossy looks, and later on we use a bootstrap. We use what? Where basically there are links. We got a ready-made stuff to have some kind of for example, you want to have a website where there's a glossy, transparent looks and all. You want a beautification. You want a lot of animations. You put a hover on a button, it animates. So you can do those kind of stuff where it looks in a highly, professional kind of a website. Then you use those ready-made libraries and all. Okay. Then that's it. Your site is dead, but it's only look and feel. HTML, CSS, look and feel. Okay. It's kind of building the structure of a website, then giving it coloring and all, but it's not doing anything. The behavior of a website, it's not doing anything unless and until you don't put what? JavaScript in it. Now JavaScript is a full-blown programming language. Okay, we learn inside out this JavaScript also. We see how much is in the syllabus, and accordingly we'll just see how much we can read. Then that gives the functionality. What the JavaScript gives is the it's like a body and a soul. Now JavaScript makes it something happen, the behavior, the functionality of a site. We'll see that, how we do that, right? Then after that, you actually have to go to the backend where you say backend development. Okay, backend BED, I said backend development, where we are in the syllabus is the PHP. You can use anything like a C sharp, like a C hash, like a Java, whatever you like. Right now we have the PHP. You can stick on the PHP right now, but later on you have to use a lot of frameworks. Like we have the React, which is not in the syllabus, but you have to do that. We have React, we have Angular, basically three, and we got a Vue. Okay, you don't do these two, you take on the React because React is more famous now. Okay, it's catching up with the Node.js. Then Node.js. You have to go from the HTML, start learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, jQuery, then also the jQuery. Learn the jQuery. Okay, then learn the React. Don't stop here. We may move to the PHP, but you guys move to the React. Okay, at your own space. You have to move to the React. Start learning the React. It's very simple then. Don't worry. It's not something which you can't do. It's an easy thing, but only thing is you need a consistency. Okay. See, it's said that if you want to eat the elephant, eat one bite at a time. You just eat one bite, and there will be one time you have eaten whole elephant. But if you try to eat it a single day, each elephant, you will fall ill, and you can't do it. Simple as it is. But if you eat just one bite, that's it. Next time one bite, and start biting it all every day, each and every day. Do you understand? Don't have some kind of for granted attitude and all. Have some kind of an attitude where you say you are a technocrat. Okay, HTML and all. This is the second grade. Typically, in third grade, we read HTML these days. Third grade school, I'm saying, they learn HTML. So it's that kind of a stuff. This React and all 10th grade graders are today well proficient with the React and all, Node.js and all, everything. Up to 10th grade, it is done these days. So it's not a big deal. So don't think you are an MCA guys, you can't do it, right? So now what is when you say the HTML is a hypertext markup language, hypertext markup language. Hypertext means something, the text becomes hyper, means it becomes clickable, it can do something. Okay, in HTML we have tags to do each and everything, like we have an anchor tag. So an anchor tag we can put our, for example, I want to click here, this is a text, I click it and it will let me go to the next page. It will let me to go to the same page somewhere else. It will let me to go to some internet site and so on and so forth. And markup means how it look up. Like you want a text, it's a bold, it's italic, it's underlined, it's something no, like we do in a formatting in a word processor. Okay, so markup means how it looks like actually. So it's not a programming language, it's only a bunch of tags which can do something to the text, and which can do something like we can build some buttons and all in like a form tag and all, where we can build the buttons, we can build the lists. Okay, we can build a lot of things like tables and all. So we can do all these things in the HTML. And in HTML actually you are building the house, the basic building blocks of this house. Okay, this building actually. And then use the CSS to paint it out. Okay, to make it the aesthetic purposes. Okay, making the show purposes and all. Does it make sense? So first thing first, when with the HTML we can use a notepad, no problem, but we need to use some kind of IDE, integrated environment, IDEs. There are a lot of IDEs in the market, and I personally use the brackets most of times with the HTML and PHP. I all the time use brackets. This is what I have been so long using. But here guys are using Visual Studio Code, so we'll do it in a Visual Studio. So you go to the browser, you download Visual Studio Code, simple as it is. You go where? in a browser, download what? Install it. It's a very simple process. When you install, check all the buttons there. There are, I mean, check buttons there. Check them all. Okay. So don't leave anything unchecked and install it. Simple. So when you install it, it will be like this. Because when I say I have, for example, here new folder, I create here new folder. Why is my system so slow? I don't know what's happened to it. New folder and call it HTML. I say HTML. Okay. Now inside this folder, okay, I say right click inside the folder. I say what? If you're not checked those stuff, then you will not be able to do that. But if you checked all those things, there is a one thing which will help you to open any folder in a VS Code. Okay. So I say right click and I say show more options here, and I say open with VS. This is actually Visual Studio also here. Visual Studio is different IDE .NET. Okay, where you use the Visual Studio.NET. That's another IDE here. We are not talking about that. We are starting with VS Code. That's open with code. So when I say open with code, the Visual Studio will VS Code will open up, and it's also from the Microsoft. Okay, like that that the Visual Studio.NET. Okay, and all that. Now it will open up. This folder will open up in the Visual Studio. As you could see here, the HTML is already here. Okay. If you don't wanna do that, then you can say file. Yeah, open new folder. Yeah, here's the open folder. You can open folder here, or you can open folder from here. Okay, file, open folder, which can then it can open any folder you liked, or you can go directly to the folder and open it. Then you can create a new file here. If you want to go here and you just want to create your new file on the HTML, the folder, you want to create new file. I don't know why my system is so, it's so slow. Okay, I say file, new file. Okay, firstly I will just get rid of this. I get rid of this to get started. Then you can go here and say open new file. It should be working. Open address. Okay, no. Say go file, new file. Okay. Either you can say new text file or you can say new file. There is some issues with my system. It's very slow. Okay. Now untitled. This is untitled one. I could have simply created a file and named it there, but I want to show you something. File, save as. Now I have to save it as an HTML file. But if you could see here, VS Code works with all these extensions. Okay, VS Code is a one IDE, one heck of an IDE, where you can use all kind of languages. See, all kind of languages. There is no language left out, right? Which you can't work in the VS Code. So you can put up any extension you like. So work with that. Okay. Now I will use what? HTML. .ht. Maybe I call it what I will call it typically. I will not call first. I will call it index.html. You have to remember that. Whenever you have some website, okay, you have an URL. You have what? You have a URL, and you put into the browser the URL name. Actually, it goes to that site. Okay, it goes to that site, and it goes to the index file. It goes to what? Index file is the first file which your browser searches. Automatically, it goes to the index file. So whenever you build up your site, the first file you build should be what? Index file, because this is what your browser will search. Whenever there is a website, islamiacollege.com, whatever that is, okay, it goes to the server and fetches the index file, right? So you need to create the first file you will create is the index file. It's like you are building the Islamic College building. Index is the gate. Index what? Where from you want to enter. Then from the index file you go to some other files. Then you may have some 20, 100 files, whatever files you have. Okay, you will go to that. Does it make sense? Okay. Now in the index.html, I just go here and I press this thing. What? Exclamation mark. And you see it's giving me the idea what I want to do. There is one extension called emmet. There's an extension called what? In brackets we have to download extensions so that we can have the boilerplate code. Like we see the 886 processor, we saw the boilerplate, we don't want to write it. We see the C free, okay, right click code template, okay, and then it gives the boilerplate. And here the boilerplate is given by the emmet. Boilerplate is given by what? You just choose the first selection and bingo, you see all the boilerplate code is put itself. You say control and then wheel mouse. If it works, yeah, it's working. To make it bigger, I just want to make it bigger. Okay, now you see the first line which is there is the doc type. Is what? As you can see here, yeah, you can see properly. Is visible properly? The first line we have here is, as you could see here, is the doc type. Now today the version of HTML is HTML5. HTML. Before HTML4, you have to write long doc type. The doc type tells the version of the HTML. Which version I'm using. Maybe I'm not using the HTML5, I'm using the back HTML4 or HTML3 or whatever. My browser need to know that. Because browser has a rendering engine inside which renders HTML, because you write some English kind of thing, no? And browser has to make the buttons out of it. Browser has to make red color out of it. It has to make borders and tables or lists or whatever, all kind of things out of this text. So who is doing it? There's a rendering engine inside a browser which does it. Okay. Now browser need to know which HTML you're using. Accordingly, it will use that rendering engine. If you're using old version or new version. Right now we are using only HTML. We are saying doc type. This is the exclamation mark. Then doc type HTML. Okay. Saying this means it's a HTML5 file. It's what? The rendering engine of the browser knows that it is a HTML5 file. So accordingly, it will be rendered, right? And you will see this is your assignment. Right? Write down the assignment. If you are not doing the assignment, don't come here tomorrow. Do you understand? Every Saturday there will be a practice. Whatever we learn in a whole week, the Saturday we will do it here. Either you will bring your laptops or in these computers, okay, inside the system. Operating system VS Code install करवाना. मुनीप जो जो VS Code install करवाना अंदर इस लैब में, ठीक है? अगर किसी को सिस्टम नहीं है वो अंदर करेगा. And every Monday is an exam of what we do in a week's time. ठीक है जी? मुझे बार-बार कहने की जरूरत नहीं. Every Monday is an exam. Every Saturday is the practice session. Whatever we learn in a week's time, Saturday you do it in the lab. Okay? And every Monday there is an exam whatever we learned in a week's time. Do you understand that? Okay. Assignment, yeah. First assignment, there will be a lot of assignments here. The one is that doc type. Doc type of different versions of HTML. ठीक है, HTML5 का तो हो गया doc type exclamation mark doc type HTML means it's HTML5. आपको देखना है किसका? याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है वो, ठीक है, because that's old and we don't need लंबा चौड़ा है, सिर्फ देखो क्या है, okay? और no need to make this copy, you can make a digital copy, okay? I mean write it on the web, make some kind of a note and PDF and all, सीधे document बनाओ word का, उसमें add करते जाओ. You can copy paste even from some site and all, some books, okay? I will be sharing some books with you later. You can do that. Don't waste time on writing and all. We don't need that, okay? Because you don't have that much of time. but you can do it easily. Copy paste there and understand what is the different doc types of different versions of HT. But when there is an exam, I will ask you. You should be able to tell me something. Not the doc type. You don't need to learn that. What is HTTP and HTTPS? Okay, comma URL. What is URL? How it works? Then you also need to know what is DOM, document object model. What is it? You have to tell us. W3C. What is W3C doing in our website? Why we need to have the W3C, authentications and all in our website we build. You need to know that W3C. Okay, and these things for time being you will use these things. Okay, the more assignment is coming, more we learn, more assignments. Getting my point? So what is the first line? Doc type. Then we have like this. What is the this one? Okay. उसमें assignment आएंगे ना, so we'll do it. The first thing we have is a angle brackets. This is the opening of a tag. Opening of a, what's your name? Last boy? Concentrate. Concentrate. Do you understand? This is simple, I know, but you have to concentrate. Okay, then we say HT. We can close, and every tag has a closing tag. But not every tag. Some tags are self-closing. Some tags are what? So HTML it's like a main. In C program a main, and then we have the opening brackets and closing brackets. This is what we have, HTML and closing HTML. Everything whatever you write is between these two tags. Okay, then we got, yes, जिसको पता है वो बोलो, आपको पता है यहाँ already. We got what? We got a head, and of the head we got a what? We got a body. Okay, and you need to close the whatever you write, huh? That is in the head and all. That's different. But main tag is head and body. Now, what is head doing? What is body doing? The structure of a website, if you will build, will be in a body. Then what is head? Head is like you say you have this C program. Then you hash include whatever dot h whatever dot h whatever. What are you doing? Hash define stuff and all. So what are these? Those are the things which we require for that program. Similar in a head, we use maximum times as the meta tags. We use what? What is the meta means? Data about data. Data about. So meta tags means data about. So what is meta tag doing? Meta tag means in the head part, we put a, for example, मैं CSS कर रहा हूँ. External file है. ठीक है? देखिए CSS करने के बहुत से तरीके. एक तरीका यह है कि आप CSS कोड वहीं पे लिखोगे. ठीक है, बहुत सारे तरीके हैं. मैं एक तरीका यह है कि आप उधर ही लिखोगे. दूसरा तरीका है फाइल कहाँ है, बाहर है, अब वो लिंक करनी पड़ेगी ना, उसको लिंक करना पड़ेगा ना. सो यू हैव अ लिंक टैग. ठीक है, आपने जावास्क्रिप्ट की स्क्रिप्ट लिखी है फाइल, एंड यू वांट टू लिंक दैट टू योर फाइल. सो अब उस जावास्क्रिप्ट की फाइल को लिंक करना है ना, तो वो भी किस में आएगा, हेड में. आप बूटस्ट्रैप का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हो तो उसको लिंक करना है, अब वो भी किधर आएगा. सो हेड टैग में ये सारी चीजें आएंगी जो आपको पेज के लिए जरूरत लगेंगी. लेकिन पेज बनाने का, whatever you are building in the page, you will write in a body tag. Does it make sense? So here, as you could see, we got the HTML tag, HTML close tag here. Okay, then a head tag here, head tag close here, then body tag and body tag. In head there are a lot of meta characters. Like there is the character set. Okay, your assignment is to see what is this. What is this HTTP equivalent and compatible content? Why is this Internet Explorer is equal to Edge? Why is it here? It will be helpful because if we are using, some people are not using the Mozilla or Chrome or whatever, they're still using the Internet Explorer, Edge and all. Okay, because that works a little differently. So you need to tell browser that we are using this browser and all. So it will be helpful for us. Your job is right now to see these three meta tags. What are they doing? This is also the assignment. It's also what? So write down an assignment, meta tags. जो आपका ये दे रहा है ना वहां से, जो आपका ये दे रहा है कौन, VS कोड, मेटा टैग्स, जो मेटा टैग्स आपको दे रहा है हेड के अंदर, व्हाट आर दीज, जस्ट वर्क ऑन देम। ओके, ठीक है जी। नाउ देयर इज अ टाइटल, जो आप बता रहे हैं टाइटल, द टाइटल इज लाइक दिस, आई से द टाइटल इज my first website, my first web. So this is the one. If I say Control S to save it, okay, then you also need, here there are the extensions. There are what? In the extensions you search live server. You search what? In brackets we use it to have live preview, okay, which actually showed us things. But here we have a live server. You can write here live server and just install that. Okay, yeah, because the go live is coming because I have installed the live server. Okay, just write a live server here. Internet से ऐसे हाँ, it's a live server, right? It's already installed. I don't need to install it. You just install it. Live, write down. Then आपको यहाँ पे go live आएगा, so that you can see it. After doing the things, you can see them. So if I write now, just press the go live. Okay, it will open the browser, whatever the browser is the default. My browser is the default browser is here, Mozilla Firefox. It will open it up, and I will close this. I will close this. As you could see, what is the title coming up? My first. This is the title. Right now I got nothing, empty, because in the body tag there is nothing. In the body tag there is nothing. That's why nothing is coming. But here's the my first website. Now when we have to build our website, we have to do stuff in a body. हमें टाइम कब तक होता है? We should not run into the next period. We have still time, okay? 5 मिनट से 5 मिनट का तो चलता है, लेकिन ज्यादा नहीं, ठीक है? The first tag in a structure, because what we try to do in HTML, we try to build those rooms and all the structure of the website. The first tag which you need to learn after in the body tag is the div tag. Is what? In the body, in the body, okay? In the body tag, with the first tag we do is the div, the division tag, because we are creating the rooms now. You start creating the building. What do you do first? You create the Kunbanois. The you say ये जो आपका ये है बॉयलर प्लेट, इट्स लाइक ए बेस. लेकिन अब आपको वेबसाइट बनानी है ना, ओके? आपको पहले स्ट्रक्चर बनाना है. क्या बनाना है? The first thing you need to learn is the div. Is what? The div is a division. The div is what? I want to create divisions in my web page. Okay? You go manon खतर division. ठीक है? या पर को ऐसे पर न्यूज आइटम्स, उनके लिए डिवीजन. यहाँ से स्क्रॉलर चलेगा हमें, जो है वेबसाइट पे होते हैं. यहाँ पे पिक्चर्स लगाऊंगा मैं. ये इसके साथ इंटरेक्ट नहीं करना चाहिए, इसके साथ इंटरेक्ट नहीं, ये अलग होना चाहिए, अलग होना चाहिए. जो मैं इसके ऊपर सेसेस लगाऊंगा वो डिफरेंट होगा, जो मैं इसके ऊपर सेसेस लगाऊंगा वो डिफरेंट होगा. क्योंकि इससे ये फायदा आएगा कि आई कैन यूज डिफरेंट CSS ऑन डिफरेंट div tags. सो div इज नथिंग, इट इज ओनली अ डिवीजन. मेरे को वेबसाइट है, ठीक है? ये वेब का पेज है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस इज अ वेब पेज. ये वेब पेज है मेरा पूरा. अब मैंने इसमें डिविजन्स काटे, मैं इसके डिविजन्स काट रहा हूँ, ठीक है? उनका साइज वाइज वगैरह, यही डिव है और कुछ नहीं है. अब डिव में एक चीज होता है कि मैं उसमें CSS लगा के उनका अलग अलग अपना इसका फॉन्ट डिफरेंट करूंगा, उसका बैकग्राउंड करूंगा चेंज एंड ऑल दैट. दैट थिंग विल बी डन बाय C कैस्केडिंग स्टाइल शीट, राइट? फर्ज कीजिए मैं यहाँ पे एक div tag लगाता हूँ. I use the angle and I say div and close it. It will give the closing div automatically. ठीक है? This is my first div. This is my what? ठीक है जी? And I'm gonna write something in it. In this div tag, I'm gonna say for this is kind of a paragraph, and I'm gonna write on it. In this div is doing nothing. It is only creating a division. It will be even invisible if I don't do anything right now. If I don't put CSS on it, it will be invisible. The division bar is nice, but division is there. So when the division is there, I can, if there is a 4 walls there, okay, I'm creating 4, I can paint those 4 walls, I can paint the floor, I can use a different font which will not affect my other part of the page. You समझ में? Okay, now firstly I will use some paragraph. So P means a paragraph tag. Okay, this is a closing paragraph tag. पैराग्राफ में क्या होता है, अगर पैराग्राफ नहीं लिखोगे तो आपका टेक्स्ट बिल्कुल इधर से आएगा, अब पैराग्राफ लिखे थोड़ा नीचे आ जाएगा, पैराग्राफ में थोड़ा स्पेस स्पेसिंग मत डालेगा खुद ही. ओके, यहाँ पे मैं लिखूंगा लोरेम. व्हाट आई राइट? लोरेम. लोरेम एप्सम मशहूर ही है आपका, पता ही होगा, वर्ड में लगाते हैं अक्सर, इज इक्वल टू लोरेम, वहां पे लगाते हैं ना ब्रैकेट्स, इज इक्वल टू लोरेम ब्रैकेट, खुद ही ये टेक्स्ट लिखता है. तो निर्लेखांश पाना है, इफ आई वांट टू डू. अब ये नहीं आ रहा ना मेरे पेज में, we can do that with, there is a this setting icon, click the setting icons, click what, click setting icon, command palettes, we are recording this, you can see that later on stepwise. And then there is a toggle word wrap. Okay, toggle, you have to write it, it will not be there because I have already done it, so that's me search में आ गया ना मुझे hint में, so आपको नहीं आएगा toggle word. So अब आप देखेंगे ये भागेगा नहीं पेज से, जो भाग रहा था इधर राइट साइड, अब ये wrap हो गए, वर्ड wrap हो गया, ये पेज के अंदर ही आ गया. नाउ दिस इज माय पैराग्राफ, दिस में व्हाट, इफ आई से कंट्रोल एस एंड आई गो टू द गो लाइव, ये दिख ही नहीं रहा गो लगा है, दैट्स ऑलरेडी गो लाइव, दैट्स ऑलरेडी लाइव. ओके, इट्स ऑलरेडी लाइव. सो okay, this is, I don't need to refresh, it's already done. Okay, as you could see here, the text is coming here, the text is coming. Okay, but where is the div happening? Div is not working right now. Okay, I will use some kind of, like here I use, for example, I just want to hear some br tag. What, it will give the new line backslash n kind of thing. Okay, control s. So I will do one thing, I will get it here and I will get my web page here. Okay, now you see the line आ गई, इसको थोड़ा बड़ा करेंगे. Okay, getting, इसको क्या हो गया, हाँ ये थोड़ा और करेंगे. Now you see the backslash n आ गया यहाँ पे br tag से, किससे? If I say here, for example, I just want to make this the bold was the b tag, which was the old one. Now we have strong tag, we have what, it's working same, but we write the strong. Okay, I say this is bold, control s, आ रहा है कहीं पे, this is bold आ रहा है ना, this is, now you see the text gets bold and all. Okay, लेकिन div ने क्या, div तो कहीं पे है नहीं, अगर मैं नहीं लिखता तब भी आप ऐसे ही लिखोगे. If I cut the div, if I cut div, it is damn slow, I don't know what has happened to my system. It need to be, no, I say control s, how does it matter, it doesn't matter at all, right? It doesn't matter because it's invisible if you don't put the coloring on it. It's like a transparent walls, I pulled around you the transparent walls which is not visible, so it seems it's not there, but it is there. Okay, because if you try to go through, say you will get a headbutt, right? I say control Z. Now if you want to see that, then you have to put some style on it. Okay, you have to put some, so we use a style, we can use a CSS, we will read CSS in detail later. Right now I'll tell you how to do that. It's a style. Okay, then is equal to, in double quotes, whatever the style you want to put it. For example, I want to put border, it's giving me beautifully, it's उधर से ही दे रहा है बेचारा. Then border के बाद colon. Okay, semicolon is the end of that thing, not end of CSS. You can, double quote is the end of CSS. Okay, double quote के बीच में semicolon is the one item, एक item, for example border का item. Yes, done. Give me 1 minute. Okay, 2 minutes, 3, 5. Thank you. So I say give me the 5 pixel border, give me what, if I say control s, it will still not be there because by default the border color is white and the background is white, so it doesn't look. Okay, so I have to use some I use, don't say color, it's with the style, it's with the border. It's with what? Border has 5 pixels, then space, and we don't say color, it means the color. We say, for example, solid and red. Okay, Control S, and you see the border comes up because the wall was there, it was not visible, right? The div was there all the time. Now I can manipulate it. हाँ, मतलब एक div उसके बाद नीचे दूसरा div, वो दिखेगा नहीं. हाँ, वो दिखेगा नहीं जब तक आप उसके ऊपर CSS नहीं लगाओ. I want more. I want a background color change of this. I want to change background. Now I have to use outside of the double terminator, semicolon, because the semicolon means border का हो गया. अब background करेंगे हम, background color. You just give this. It should give us no session. Why no? Because मैंने double quote के बाहर लिखा ना. Double quote के बाहर नहीं जाने का, semicolon के बाहर जाने का. ठीक है? I say background. Background is like backspace ground, backslash, dash ground. Background color, background dash color. Maybe I use the aqua color. Okay, and Control S to save it. Look at the background color, right? So we'll continue with this. Lot of tags. Do assignment. Come tomorrow prepared, and whatever we have done, prepare that. Watch the video also. This will be on a YouTube. You can recap also. Put it at 2x speed and just watch it. Do you understand? That's all for today.